Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with my 5th of 6 top 5 videos, counting down my picks for the best films of 2019. This has been a little painstaking this round, not so much because I lacked enthusiasm for doing the videos or I didn't have any decent choices to work with, just because being between the holiday season and New Year's, being a father of 2 little girls, and working a job, I've been a little kind of beaten down the last couple of weeks, so I apologize for if there's been a lack of enthusiasm, or a lack of energy, I should say. So let's get into it. Number 5, Florence Pugh for Midsummer. Excuse me. This is I think only Ari Aster's second film, and his previous film was Hereditary, which I gave Best Actress to last year for Toni Collette. Florence Pugh just had a terrific year all around. She was excellent in this, and she was really good in Fighting with My Family, which my real problem with that film was didn't really seem to approach the world of professional wrestling legitimately. Didn't seem to have respect for how that industry really works. And now she's got this. Now she's going to be in Black Widow, which a film that, to tell you the truth, in a lot of ways I think is a little in a big way, too late. Because they killed off Black Widow. By the way, there's going to be I'm probably going to be some spoilers in this video. Drink
a lollipop.
On the Grumpy Cat?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna shoot my video, okay?
Grumpy Cat. She said George.
Oh.
And she said a bad word.
Oh, she didn't say a bad word. That's a kid movie. I'm gonna shoot my video, okay?
T-O-Y, lady killer.
Oh. Okay. You don't say that, though.
Oh.
If you think it's a bad word, don't say it. Sorry. Well, I apologize. That's my kid. Y'all deal with it. Anyhow, yeah, so Midsummer was a great movie. It was a uniquely done, completely in, almost completely in daylight, which was an interesting way to shoot a horror film. And I've heard it compared to The Wicker Man. And to tell you the truth, other than outsiders going to a cult where there's most definitely going to be some human sacrifice, it has nothing to do with it's nothing like The Wicker Man. The ultimate thing that really grips me is not just Florence Pugh's excellent performance in this film, but the character she plays in general. The film gets you to hate her boyfriend as much as possible, when the big real reveal of the film is being that she is the true wicked evil one of the two of them. What she does to him is deeply monstrous. In the last moments of the film, of her smiling into the camera, finally finding a community amongst these fucking tree worshippers. Number 4, Jessica Roth, Happy Death Day to You. Now, I should also point out that Happy Death Day, the 2017 film, is the superior film. This movie, it's more of a horror comedy. This is more of a comedy sci-fi with some horror stuff in it, just because it had to tie into that movie. Roth is amazing as Tree. This was a real, it's just a grab you kind of performance, man. It was a star-making performance for me. I would love to see vehicles, for this actress. If there's anybody developing like an I Dream of Jeannie movie right now, they should definitely go with her for the role. She'd be perfect. Jeannie, Tree is just such an incredibly layered character for such a wacky kind of movie. And even if you don't like these films, kind of feel like you've seen the whole Groundhog Day thing done to death. It's her. She is what makes these two movies work. Especially the second one, which is more bogged down with silly sci-fi, that kind of, the Star Trek thing. Somebody explains something super super complicated, and another guy comes in with just the simplicity, like air escaping a balloon, that kind of stuff. There's a lot of that kind of silliness in it, and there's that just way over the top sequence with Rachel Matthews pretending to be the blind foreign exchange student. That just goes on forever, but still a really fun movie. Number 3, I the reason I waited to do this one as my 4 acting videos last is because I was back and forth whether to include my number 3, which is Rosa Salazar for Alita, Battle Angel. Alita is probably my favorite female character in any film for the entire year. Uh, my big hesitation was, it's a motion capture performance. Like I said last year, with Josh Brolin for Thanos, that there's always going to be this foe, but I did nominate Brolin, and even though I was more hesitant to nominate Rosa, not so much because of not just because of the motion capture, and not only because I just did this last year too, but at the same time because it's now a lead role. But I just, when I was looking at my honorable mentions, I just knew I was going to regret not putting her as a nominee. And there's also, just the great appreciation for the true strength in women kind of stuff, where some might misogynistically write off someone's compassion, like particularly for Alita. People are telling her in the film that her compassion is this emotional weakness, when it's her strongest. It's the core of her strengths. The sheer fact that she feels what is right and wrong, and she will fight for it, and she will protect the people she cares for. And the way that Rosa Salazar, and of course with Robert Rodriguez directing, the way that can deliver lines like, the actual line is, "I will not stand by in the presence of evil." That is such a hokey, comic booky line, and it's delivered so sternly that it's stirring, it's emotional, it's a great moment in the film. And Rosa is fucking great, and I really wish they would do a sequel to this. At least announce it. I know with the thoughts being bought up by Disney, a lot of stuff is up in the air right now. Probably the only thing they seem to want to do is Deadpool 3. Number 2, Lupita Nyong'o for Us. I said in my previous video, I kind of thought the ending for Us kind of bogs the movie down. But Lupita is so amazing in both roles. How the true nature of what Adelaide is, the escaped member of the Tethered, who has, somehow weaseled her way into our world and has become one of us. The way her tethering comes out in Need to Survive throughout the film. But at the same time, it's the demanding performance of Red that really grabs you the most. Just the kind of physicality and the kind of voice work had to be just absolutely had to be what I'm looking for. Really trying, demanding on her physically, and it was just a hell of a performance. And she makes the movie watchable. Unlike Daniel Kaluuya, I don't know if I've gone into it too much, but I really was not a fan of Get Out. It had nothing to do with the racial kind of things. I felt the film was far too slow. The characters were just unlikable. I thought Daniel Kaluuya was boring in the film, and I thought his character Chris was just fucking stupid. Get the fuck out. Even after he's confirmed, knows for sure that his girlfriend has set him up and lured her in there for a trap, he's still trying to get her to leave with him. He's just stupid. You might as well just be another white guy in a horror movie. He's gonna make that kind of stupid fucking decisions. Anyhow, and my number 1, my pick for the best actress of 2019 is Samara Weaving as Grace Ladamas in Ready or Not. Ready or Not is maybe my favorite horror movie of the year. I'm going back and forth between it and It Chapter 2. But they're just pure fun factor, and also, it helps being a little closer to 100 minutes long instead of closer to 3 hours long. It always benefits the horror movie. But I just love how You go from her being a genuinely, I just love the emotional roller coaster she goes on through the film, where she's like genuine. I mean, just all the excitement and optimism of being a bride to be on her wedding day, and then after the ceremony, confiding in her new mother-in-law, what this deeply means to her, being a foster child, and now kind of feeling for the first time in her life having a true family of her own. Now with her boyfriend, Alex, her husband, Alex. Uh, to the reveal of the fact that this family is massive fortune, all is due to a pact with the devil, which every now and then they have to sacrifice one of their new in-laws to the devil to keep their fortune fresh. And she is the new sacrifice. Going from the shock of that, the word I'm looking for, confliction of dealing with, she still loves Alex, but he brought her into this, where it made it very clear in the film that other siblings of Alex straight up told their better halves, this is what you're in for. So if you marry me, you have to be prepared for us possibly sacrificing you to Satan. That's a possibility. The fact that he didn't disclose this to Grace. Of course, is ultimately. I mean, he gets far, far more evil than that as the story goes on. Uh, but by the end of it, how her survival instincts is purely taken over, how she's so feral and vicious, and come hell or high water, even, it doesn't matter if she's in one piece, because she's not going to be anyway, because she is not fucking dying tonight. And just the strength and the resolve and the fucking fortitude put on display as a character, as well as the charisma and viciousness that and just all around stage presence Samara Weaving brings to the role. She's easily my pick for best actress, because she is easily one of my all-time favorite horror movie heroines, up there with Sidney Prescott and fucking Ellen Ripley. I love this character, and I love this movie, and I love this girl. I got some honorable mentions. Sure, why not? I'm gonna say Helen Mirren for The Good Liar. It is unnatural how attractive that woman is, well into her 70s, and a strong, charismatic, charming performance. Naomi Watts as the in Loose as the enabling mother who ultimately decides to support her sadistic and malicious adopted son, not because she truly loves him, but because it's how she wants to be perceived as a good white person. That's what comes first. Octavia Spencer was also terrific in Loose, but that was a supporting role, and I should have pointed her out in my honorable mentions, as well as I should have pointed out Will Smith. But for supporting actor for Aladdin. But Spencer was terrific in Ma. The problem with Ma is that they give away way too much in the trailer, pretty much telling you straight out how the fucking film ends. But it's a modern retelling of Hansel and Gretel, and it's just, even though it's not a great movie, it's not nowhere near a good horror movie, it is a tour de force from Octavia Spencer. Both Isabelle Huppert and Chloe Grace Moretz, excellent performances in Greta. It's a bizarre movie. It's a meandering horror film, but between the camera work of Neil Jordan and three strong performances, adding in supporting actress Micah Monroe, who I pointed out in another video was excellent, make the film more than watchable, and more worth recommending. Jessica Chastain in It Chapter 2, almost purely based on how this was like, Patrick Stewart playing Professor X. It's almost like the fans chose her, and the studio delivered, and as far as performance-wise, I damn sure wasn't disappointed, and I don't know or that much care if anyone else was. And finally, I'm going to say Sarah Paulson for Glass. It might be considered a supporting role, but I kind of looked at her as really the star of the film. And I know they kind of fucked up the end of that movie by killing off all three of the main characters. But with setting up this world now, I would love to see a fourth film going in more into her and her evil cult of people trying to suppress superheroes. The Shamrock Agency or whatever they are. They're the Adjustment Bureau fuckers, you know what I mean? Anyhow, that's my video. This has been my longest of these 5 videos. It took me forever today to get around to this video. I kept waiting for the fucking rain to stop because I didn't want y'all to just hear rain all goddamn time. Anyhow, I hope you like this video. Please comment, share. Let me know what you think. No one ever does that. Anyhow, I'm Jake Davis. One more of these to go. See if you can guess. Just go watch 4 or 5 of my last videos. Tell me if you've already figured out what Best Picture is going to be. It's kind of obvious. I'm Jake Davis, and I'll catch you on the fly.